What's up everyone, welcome back to Lace Up Channel. My name's Mickey. I'd like to take a moment to welcome myself back. I know I've been gone for what seems like months. It's been this huge hiatus because I've been focusing on growing the business, on putting people in place to do certain roles to continue to produce the moolah, baby. But in this video, I want to take a little story, something that happened to me a couple months ago that I think would truly help you when it comes to the fight against your competition. Anyways, guys, I'm going to tell you how you can use your vendors, to disarm your competitors. So let's get right into it. So a couple months ago, one of my biggest clients reaches out to our support staff and tells them we are canceling Lace Up. Now, because the support staff knows that I have this intimate relationship with this client, they come to me and they say, Mickey, give this client a call and see why they're leaving. So I pick up the phone, I call the client and they say, yep, we've been wanting to switch ERP systems forever. So an ERP system is an accounting system. All of my customers have one. And it turns out that this customer was switching to one of the most mainstream ERP systems in the world with which we also integrated. So I thought it was strange that they were leaving us when we could have done the job for them in the first place. So it turns out that whoever sold them the ERP also recommended our competition. And because perhaps our communication wasn't great with the client, even though our service was, we lost the opportunity to continue to be the vendor of choice for them. So in that phone call, I felt like I took the L like a man. I don't mind losing. It's okay to lose once in a while something to your competition, especially when it's not really your fault. All you can do is kind of sit there and retroactively think about what you could have done differently to avoid being in that predicament in the first place. So yes, I end up losing the customer. But it made it so I couldn't sleep at night. I kept thinking, replaying what had happened. I was like, there's no way this competitor is going to do everything that we do for this client. And the way I know that is because this client used a tool. Let's call it a tool for all intents and purposes. A tool that I developed with one of my vendors, and together we have sold this tool to many different clients. And honestly, that tool is pretty proprietary to us. So how is it possible that this customer and my competitor now have access to this tool? Well, I put two and two together and I realized that the competitor had reached out to my vendor. Ooh, here's where the story gets juicy, boys and girls, because this guy literally went into my software on the handheld and they found the tool I was working with and went around my back and called my vendor. Well, that's where I draw the line, ladies and gentlemen. One thing is to steal away your competition, and other thing is to use your hard work, your research and development, your dedication against you, and use everything that you've worked so hard to build to steal away one of your customers. So that's where I drew the line, and I picked up the phone and called my vendor. And within 2 minutes, the vendor had admitted that this individual was working with them. Now, the engagement of that relationship was not in a malicious way by my vendor whatsoever. It was my competitor kind of sliding like a little slithery snake around the back to get the tool that I had and steal my customer with it. Oh, dude, it's so frustrating. But guys, look, I'm not a little kid. I'm okay with that sometimes, but in this scenario, I couldn't deal with it. So I pull the card, the magical card from my back pocket, and I say, vendor, we've had this long relationship where we've built this thing together, where we've done a lot of business with you guys. There is no way I can fall on my own sword and be the tool of my own demise. You cannot, by any stretch of the imagination or for any reason, work with this customer. Of course, I was talking at that juncture about my competitor. And you know what happened? The person on the other line, they said, okay, Mickey, let me talk it over with ownership. So they go back, talk it over with ownership, and a couple weeks later, I get a phone call. And that phone call was, hey, Mickey, I've got good news. We've gone ahead and canceled the account for your competitor. So now my competitor can't get access to the tool, which means that they can't acquire my customer as easily if they would have been able to by stealing my idea. So guys, you're probably like, oh, Mickey, that's a really crybaby thing to do. Well, Johnny, I think it's important. If you do a lot of money, if you have a long relationship with a vendor and that vendor is going to work with one of your competitors and you find out about it, you should be able to hit up the vendor and tell the vendor to fire your competitor. So I think in your industry, what I would do, I would maintain such a close relationship to those vendors of yours that could perhaps have a monopoly over a certain something, over a certain area, and make sure that you give them a lot of business. Make sure that you have a wonderful relationship, because one day your competition is going to go to them and they're going to use their stuff to steal away one of your customers, and you're going to find out about it. And at that juncture, it would be very wise to pick up the phone and tell them, that's not happening under my watch. It's not fair, right? That we built this relationship, done all this business, and now you're stealing away my customer? No. Now maybe I'm being childish, go down below to the comments and let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you, or if I just didn't handle it the right way. I think, personally, that I handled it like a boss, because guys, nobody is gonna use my own hard work against me. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed my first video back, go down below. Give me a thumbs up, a big one, and a subscribe, because I am back to putting out regular content every single week, and I look forward to seeing you, that's right baby, you, next video. Take care.